Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm the one they call Peachy Pie, and you are most welcome to join me here. Now, today I thought we'd take a look at something new, a little segment I'm gonna call In Other News, in which I find some news articles or opinion pieces that are interesting to me, and I thought I'd share them with you. So, in this article, this woman named Lesego, which is not her real name, obviously, to protect her identity, mentions that the father of her twins owes her 56,000 rand and refuses to pay her and now denies paternity of their children. So, the article summary says she's recovering emotionally and financially after her ex-boyfriend refused to pay back money she loaned him. He also denies that the 3-month-old twins are his. She advises other women to never loan boyfriends money, especially if there is no written agreement. Although she is still hurting, Lesego says all is not lost and she knows this too shall pass. So as you can tell, quite a contentious situation in a relationship. Okay. Money can cause a lot of problems in relationships. How conversations relating to money are handled and the outcomes can either build or break a relationship. Lesego can attest to this after her boyfriend, now an ex-boyfriend, asked her to loan him 56,000 rand and he has never paid a cent of it back. The two met in January 2021 and things got serious between them in July. She found out she was pregnant with twins in September 2021. When we met in January, he would complain about the car he was driving. He borrowed 30,000 rand to fix it, but something said I shouldn't give it to him, Lesego says. She never gave him that loan. But after falling pregnant, she let her guard down and decided to help the father of her twins out. In January 2022, he asked for her to lend him 56,000 rand and she gave it to him. But now that loan has left the 33-year-old mother in anguish. He said he would pay me back in 3 weeks. I loaned him all my savings as I trusted him and felt he was my twins' father. Whenever I asked him about the payment, he would use the twins to deviate my attention from asking about my money. Once I realized that he was manipulating me, it was too late, as he told me he would never pay me. It's such a sad, tragic story, obviously, what happened to her. As though that wasn't enough, he also started denying that he's the father of the twins. After the betrayal, she remembers how she would badmouth his ex-girlfriend. Little did I know, he left her in debt. He made sure whatever we had was private and portrayed himself as a private person, so I didn't ask his friends about the type of person he is. I thought I knew him, but didn't, Lesego says. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second because this is like trademark, indicative of like someone with narcissistic behavior, like that her partner has. Identified that she was a lonely single woman and he took full advantage. He took full advantage to loan almost just over 500 grand from her and is now denying the paternity of his children just so he can get off scot-free in a sense. It's appalling what this guy did to her. But anyway, let's continue. The red flags are always there, but when in love, it's easy to ignore or miss them. Lesego remembers how he dodged his family finding out that she was pregnant. In her culture, when an unmarried woman falls pregnant, it requires that her family write a letter to his family to notify them that she is expecting his children. His parents passed away, so when I told him about the letter, he told me he has no one who can respond to it, she explains. In hindsight, she also recalls how he used to ignore many calls when they were together. She has since learned from his friend that he owes many people money and just avoids their phone calls. That is just absolute craziness. I just want to say to anybody, just don't lend your partners your money. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even do it if they say they're going to pay you back. Don't even do it if there's a contract, because money in relationships always becomes a point of contention. People like to keep record. You say, okay, I'll lend you $1,000, and what happens is Then you go out to dinner with that person, for example, and they say, "Oh, I paid for dinner, so now you can take that off from the $1,000 that I owe you." And then they'll laugh about it, but like in their hearts, they're actually serious about it. The intention is to tell you to wipe off their debt because they are doing nice things for you. Trust me, money and people do not go together. I would say that if you are going to enter into a relationship with anyone, keep your finances as separate as you possibly can. Nothing should have a price tag, not especially not love. So if you are going to dinner, agree on how much you're going to spend. Both pop your money in the pot and that's it. Split everything 50-50, but not once we get there, then you've ordered this and yours cost that much and it's just going to lead to a lot of contention. You want to do things in as simple a way as possible. Set a budget before you do something. For example, the repairs on the car. If the car is going to benefit both people, and he needed 50,000 for the repairs on the car. I don't know what kind of car he has that things need 50,000 to repair, because that's a lot of money in South Africa. But what I would suggest is that you say, okay, I will lend you this money after you've put this car on my name as well, because I want assurance. Maybe I've got trust issues, but I really don't feel like you can trust anyone, especially not people who say, "You know me, you can trust me." Those are the people you should trust the least. So your best option is to get yourself some assurance. And if they are good and kind to you, if they care about you, they will understand where you're coming from and they won't put up much of a fight. At least that's how I see it. I can see where someone would be upset and say, "I'm not going to put your name on my car," because I would just say to that, "Well, then I'm not going to give you money." So lose or win, pick one. But money and relationships, yo. Anyway, let me continue. I've learned that even if someone is your partner, you should have a written agreement when you borrow a large amount of money because you are not married. A person who always borrows money from you and never helps you financially is not there for a relationship. They have their own devious motives. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. And this is why I say don't mix money in a relationship. If somebody is asking you for money in your relationship, if you want to give it to them, give it to them. Don't ever expect it back. Do not expect reciprocation, because that is the point when you know this is a solid relationship. This money is not going to become an issue. Let's be honest. Sometimes things can happen. Your partner can lose their job and they're not capable of paying you back, and now there's the stress that they have to pay you back and blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. So that's why I say money and relationships are just a no-go. And sorry, you have to vet your partners out properly, and that really only comes with long-term getting to know them, getting used to them. And for heaven's sake, get to know your partner's friends and family before you enter into a relationship or a long-term thing with them, like a marriage. Get to know them. If your partner is not introducing you to their friends, if they are not making it a point to take you to see their friends or to introduce you to their family, to integrate you into their circle, they are not thinking about you as a long-term part of their life. So that's just what I want to say before I finish off this article, where it says Lesego is left to raise her children alone. He used to ask about the babies before he realized I wanted to take him to court to get my money back. Once I called him out for his bluff, he said the twins are not his, and we agreed that we are going to do DNA tests, because I know he was making that an excuse to not support his children. What a price choice of partner there. And to be honest with you, in a way, I can't really even blame her, because, she just fell for somebody that she thought was genuine. And this happens all too often, especially to, women who are building up their lives. Now she's not only just left with this huge debt, she's also left to raise 2 children on her own, whose father doesn't even acknowledge that they belong to him or are from his family line. And so it's just an awful situation all around, especially for this young woman who is a single mother now. But she seems like a strong, competent person, and it seems like she's willing to fight him. Although I must just say one thing, in court systems, especially in South Africa, I'm not sure about everywhere else in the world, verbal agreements are considered legal agreements. So you don't need to have stuff in writing. It just helps a lot better when you go to court if you do have something in writing. So even if it's like a little note written on a small piece of paper with your name, that person's name, the date, how much money that you've agreed to give them, the period, this is also very important, the period with which or within which they have to pay you back. Get that on the paper. Don't say, oh, you can pay me back later, you can pay me back later. That person's never going to pay you back. Set a period. Give them the time. Okay, you're borrowing 56,000 from me. I expect it back within 4 months' time. Don't let them give you the period. You tell them, this is when I'm expecting it back. And then, stick a lawyer on their ass. I'm not even joking about that. Just stick a lawyer on someone's ass that owes you money. It's not going to help your relationship, but you're going to get your money back eventually. Probably going to have to fork over more than half of it for lawyer's fees, but you'll get the satisfaction of knowing that you got your money back. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think about the situation in the comments. It's unfortunate that this is such a common occurrence, but we need to be wiser, we need to be stronger, we need to be smarter when we approach our relationships. Obviously, there's no such situation where everything is 110% avoidable, but we learn and we grow. And sometimes you can learn from someone else's mistakes. You don't have to make your own. So I just wanted to share this with you. And it's a tragic story. But I'm glad that the last passage says she went back to church for renewed strength and says she feels much better. Lesego is blessed with a good support system, friends and family. So it's good that she at least has a support system. But for anybody that doesn't have a support system, it's a hard journey, but you're going to have to build yourself back up by yourself. But you can do it. I have complete faith in you. If you manage to stay in a abusive or toxic or manipulative relationship for a long period of time because you were hoping someone was going to change or because you had faith that things were going to get better, that means that you've got some strength inside of you there, that endurance. You just have to repurpose it now for your healing. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope you have an absolutely awesome evening further. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and really let me know what you think about this situation. Have a good one and take care of yourself because you absolutely deserve it. Cheers.